I just wrapped up a deep dive video breaking down what Canada might look like 100 days from now under Mark Carney's leadership. From rising grocery bills to possible interest rate moves, I unpacked how his policies could shape your wallet, your job, and your day-to-day life. If you care about your money, your future, and Canada's direction, you don't want to miss this video. Watch it now on my YouTube channel and let me know your thoughts about this topic. This might be the question on everybody's mind: what it is gonna look like 100 days from now under Mark Carney's government, and what it means for average consumer and his policy impacts on average Canadian households. Mark Carney stands at a pivotal juncture in his leadership, confronting escalating trade tensions with the United States, our biggest business partner. And his administration's actions in the upcoming 100 days will be crucial in shaping Canada's economic resilience and the national unity for the next 4 years. Before we go deeper in this topic, please help us to provide more content like this for you by subscribing to our channel and sharing this video with your friends. So the next 100 days of his leadership will be critical for determining whether his promises of economic resilience can translate into material improvements in the daily lives of Canadians or not. Let's talk about the first category, which is US trade relations. Carney's efforts to de-escalate tensions with Donald Trump have become increasingly urgent for Canada. Tariffs on Canadian steel, aluminum, and autos have already rippled across the economy, and we know these impacts are not abstract. So what it means for consumers? First one is rising prices. So household goods made with steel and aluminum, including appliances, cars, even food packaging, are already seeing cost increases of between 5 to 12%. When it comes to car market volatility, a looming price hike on North American autos could inflate car payments by $75 to $100 a month on average for new car buyers. And when it comes to job security concerns in auto producing regions like Ontario, tariffs may endanger thousands of manufacturing jobs, affecting household stability. My forecast for the next 100 days would be, if negotiations fail, the average families could face even steeper price increases with the potential, that's my prediction, with the potential of 1% rise in the headline inflation by late summer this year. The second category is trade diversification. So Carney is investing in trade infrastructure to deepen a partnership with Europe and Asia, a bit basically to Trump-proof Canada's economy, as they say it, of course. What it means for consumers. So basically, there's no immediate price relief because of those policies. These efforts won't lower grocery bills or ease shortages quickly. Most Canadian households won't feel benefits until 2026 or later. So what are the long-term opportunities in that case? If successful, of course, this pivot could bring cheaper consumer imports and increase job opportunities in the export-focused sectors like tech and clean energy. So the third category is household finances. Carney has repealed basically the federal consumer carbon tax and promises targeted incentives for eco-friendly behavior instead of that. So what it means for consumers? The short-term win would be the households save an estimate of $200 to $600 annually depending on region and energy use. The energy cost remains volatile, so without carbon pricing, energy bills may still stay high due to global market pressure, not domestic policy, of course. So my forecast for the next 100 days would be that the energy bills may plateau but not drop significantly. So low-income households could feel a net loss unless supplemental rebates or incentives are clarified for low-income households. The fourth category is inflation, groceries, and day-to-day life. Canadians are reporting a sticker shock at grocery stores. Supply chains strained by tariffs, climate disruption, and fuel prices have inflated prices on produce, meat, and packaged goods. So in cities like Toronto and Vancouver, the cost of a standard monthly grocery basket has increased by 9.1% year over year. We have seen more families are turning to food banks and discretionary spending is falling. So these would affect local businesses. So far, there are no direct intervention in the food pricing from Carney's government. Any relief would depend on on resolving supply chain issues and trade normalization. Category number 5 is energy superpower vision. Carney's vision of Canada as a 21st century energy superpower includes oil, gas, and clean tech. This includes a push for indigenous partnerships and regulatory streamlining. So what it means for consumers? That means job creation. They could bring more jobs in energy sector, construction, and logistics, particularly in rural and western provinces. However, there's a trade-off. So as the government prioritizes resource development, environmental protection, and urban green subsidies may face cuts. These are my final outlooks about what Canada can expect by end of the summer 2025. So Prime Minister Mark Carney's next 100 days will not just be judged by his dealings in Washington or Brussels, but by whether average Canadian families feel more secure, stable, and optimistic. The window to deliver tangible relief is closing fast, and households will be watching every grocery bill, gas receipt, and pay stubs for signs that their new Prime Minister is delivering on his promises of economic resilience.